I'm talking to the Rockport Town Administrator, Mitch Vieira. Hi, Mitch. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Heather?
I'm good, thank you. So tell us what's happening in Rockport these days.
Sure. So we have quite a bit going on right now. The biggest item is our early voting that's taking place. So that started on Saturday the 17th, and that runs through Friday, October 30th. During the week, it is available during regular town hall business hours. And on the weekends, this coming Saturday and Sunday, it'll be available from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. both days. We've had a really good turnout. So from the 17th through the 20th, we've had just about 460 people show up in person, which is really great. Additionally, the clerk's office has mailed out over 2,800 ballots that have been requested to people. So some folks are taking those mailed and bringing them in and voting. Many people are using the brand new drop box that we have available. So that's anyone who doesn't want to put it in the mail is welcome to use the drop box that's located at the resident lot side of the building. It's a big blue box that says ballots only. That's a very secure spot that's checked multiple times a day. So lot happening there, and really kudos to the town clerk's office. They have been going absolutely nonstop, and all of the election workers with them. And they certainly will probably continue to do that through the election and a few days after. So thanks to them and to all of the poll workers for their efforts.
Yeah, and it was so hard having the state primary so close to the general election. Yes. For Pat and Melanie to have to pull all this together. Can you compare the number of ballots that they had received in the state primary to now? Is it about the same? Are you seeing a higher number?
So I think it's slightly higher. So I know that they put out at last check at least 2,500 at that point. So we've had a few more come in. We had many people who actually in June with the municipal election requested that one, the primary, and the national election. So we've had, it's only continued to grow, I would say.
That's great. And just to be clear, you can do early voting and pick up your ballot there. You don't have, but some people are walking in with the ballot they applied for early. But
correct.
You don't need to do that.
You don't. And at the end of the day, the early voting with the ballot that's mailed to you and coming in and voting early, they're going into the same place. Those ballots will be cast on election day by a poll warden at each of the precincts. So if folks want to actually put their ballot into the voting machine, that would certainly be on election day on the 3rd from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the polls.
And just seeing these early voting numbers, it looks as if election day itself will be relatively calm the way it was for the primary, don't you think?
I think we'd hope so, and we expect that based on the numbers so far. But we're ready. The clerks are ready to handle a crowd, and we have all of our COVID compliance processes in place. So we're ready. We're ready if it's a slow day. We're ready if it's a busy day.
Oh, that's great. And I understand that Rockport successfully had 2 flu clinics, a really important thing to have happening these days. You want to talk about that?
Yes, we were really happy to have 2 that went very well. We partnered with Walgreens this year, and we had 2 Saturdays where we set up over at the school complex, and they were drive-through flu clinics. So you never had to leave your car. You simply pulled up, and the pharmacists took care of everything right through your window for you. We vaccinated, I want to say, over 300 people for that. So really good numbers, good turnout for us. And certainly, if folks are still in need, Walgreens has them available. You can get them through your PCP. And if at the end of the you're unable to locate one, people can certainly call the Board of Health office at 546-3701. And we're happy to work with you on getting you that flu shot. But thanks to all the volunteers, the Board of Health, and our public health nurses who really facilitated a great process.
That's wonderful. And tell us about the water flushing happening in Rockport now.
Yes, so starting next week, the 26th, for the full week, DPW will be doing water main flushing. So they will be throughout town opening up the hydrants. So you'll see some hydrants open with wide open, just letting the water flush out of them. The bulk of the flushing will take place 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday to Friday, but there will also be some nighttime flushing Monday through Wednesday. And that really depends. It could be any time between 3 p.m. and 6 a.m. in different parts of town. So we always do that yearly. Normally that's done in the spring, but because of COVID, things got delayed. So we're picking it up this coming week. And that really helps to address any removal of any kind of sediment and discoloration in the water mains throughout town. So hopefully that will help with any larger scale discoloration issues. I will say, to get better, we do have to have a little bit of an issue. So there may be some discoloration during the process for folks because it is stirring up the sediment as it's pulling it out of the system. So, we would advise just being cognizant about doing laundry and things like that next week during the flushing hours. But the goal is to make the system better, clear out any sediment and issue that we have, and hopefully avoid larger issues in the future as part of our overall maintenance and treatment program.
Mm. And people may have been surprised because this happened in the fall. I do always remember it being a springtime thing where,
Yes.
the water's a funny color. Oh, that's right, the town flushes. So they might just be jarred. Their experience might be jarred a little bit because it's not a springtime thing.
Yes, and I'll continue to put that in the Monday night calls that we put out, and we'll continue to share that on Facebook and through, of course, this medium. So just making sure people are aware it is something, as you said, a little bit different this time.
Mm. And speaking of your Monday night calls, there has been a little spike in the Gloucester community in COVID numbers. Do you want to just get us up to date about what's happening in Rockport?
Sure. So we've had a couple of additional cases. Our count is currently less than 5. And for data privacy reasons from DPH, we list it as less than 5 at this point. But certainly the region is seeing an increase. It's been well publicized that there is an increase in Gloucester, and certainly we're all one big Cape Ann area, so everything that happens in one town affects all of us. But certainly everybody is doing what they can, and it really does come down to those basic principles that we've been sharing with folks for the last 6 or 7 months. Wear your face masks or face coverings at all times. Continue hand washing and other hygiene protocols, and really social distancing at a minimum of 6 feet, and avoiding crowds, gatherings, things of that nature. So it's really important now. This was a good reminder for all of us that we need to continue with those practices and protocols to avoid a larger scale spike for all of us.
Mm. Well, I know that voting will continue to be the big news in Rockport for the next week or so. Anything else you want to catch us up with?
No, I think that covers it. Again, voting is available. Be aware for the flushing in the next week or so. And you'll continue to hear from us every Monday between 4 and 6 with a weekly COVID update.
Great. Well, thank you again, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.